Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Nana Firdaus, and on today's tutorial I will be showing you how to cut and sew this trending saudiyyah hijab in less than 20 minutes. Without further ado, let's get started. For this tutorial, I used 5 trouser lengths, approximately 6 yards to make mine because I wanted it to be extra long, as this is the prayer hijab and I love my prayer hijabs to be very long to cover my feet. So for yours, you might need around 5 yards or so, depending on the length that you'll be making. Since the style is basically an umbrella hijab, the first thing you will do is you're going to fold your fabric into 2 and lay it down. Then you're going to measure your front hijab measurements plus extra 1 inch. You are going to take that measurement down this way. Then on the lower part, you are going to go in by 10 inches. You will go in by 10 inches, then you will mark it. So on the upper part of the hijab, which is the folded edge, you come down by 8 inches. You are going to mark it, then you are going to cut it on a slant from that 8-inch mark down to the 10-inch mark that you marked earlier. Once you are done with that, you are going to place the 8-inch mark of your tape roll on the 8-inch mark that you marked on the fabric earlier. Then you are going to measure your hijab, front hijab length plus extra 1 inch on that slanted line that you just made. You are going to run it down this way, then you will mark it. Once you are done with that, you are going to notch the midpoint on your folded edge so you know the midpoint of your hijab, and then you'll be folding it diagonally this way to cut the hole for your sleeves. So after folding it, my side measurement is 38 inches and I want my sleeve length to be 10 inches, so I subtracted my sleeve length from my side measurement and I marked the remaining measurement there, which was 28 inches. So I measured from the top of the fabric downwards, then I marked for 28 inches. So for the sleeve width, I want it to be 7 inches. So from that 28-inch mark, I measured 7 inches downwards. Then I'm going to cut it out this way, which is going to be for the sleeve opening. So the next thing you will do before opening up your fabric is you're going to measure your side measurement downwards. So if your front measurement is 70 inches, all you have to do is add extra 2 inches to the side so it won't be jumpy. So you're going to mark 72 inches on this folded edge downwards. Then you're going to mark your front hijab length on this part because we'll be cutting it out. I'm sure you know how to cut your umbrella hijab. If you don't know how to cut your full umbrella hijab, I'll be linking a video where I showed how to do that up here, so you can watch that before you come back to this video to understand better. Now you'll notice that the back part of your hijab is way shorter because the length of the fabric is usually 60 inches and most times the back length is more than 60 inches. So I placed the fabric on the lower part of the back part of the hijab. I placed the fabric with the right side facing up. Then I marked my back length. My back length is 4 inches longer than the front length. So I just used my hand to trace where the front length is on the floor. Then I marked extra 4 inches downward. Then you are going to use your hand to trace where the edges that you cut earlier is and just use your chalk to mark it if you don't want to go through the stress of remeasuring what you have there. Once you are done with that, you are just going to cut it out this way. So after cutting it out, because you'll be needing 2 fabric because it is folded in 2, it's folded into 2. You are going to lay another fabric down with the right side facing up. Then you'll be placing the extra fabric that you just cut out now for the back part. You are going to place it on the fabric that you laid down, making sure that the right sides are facing each other. You align it properly, then you are going to cut. You are going to cut out the shape of the fabric that you just cut out. So the fabrics that you just cut out is what you'll be joining to the back to increase the length. Now to measure the extra fabric that you need to cut out for the scarf part and the front part, all you have to do is you're going to measure from the notch point on the folded edge. You measure it downwards, whatever you have multiplied by 2. So here I have 70 inches multiplied by 2 is 140 inches. So for the flower fabric that I want to use as my scarf, I'll be cutting length 140 inches for it. And the next part you need to measure is from that 8-inch mark that you made earlier, you measure it downwards this way. I had 61 inches, which is what you use to cut out the extra fabric that you use for your niqab. So after doing that, the next thing is I folded my pattern fabric, which will be used for the scarf. I folded it downwards. Then the width will be 12 inches because I'll be folding it in 2 and I want the scarf to be 6 inches wide. So if you want your scarf to be 7 inches wide, all you have to do is multiply that by 2 and you have 14 inches. So the width of the fabric you'll be cutting is 14 inches and the length you'll be cutting is 140 inches. So your fabric might not be as long as 140 inches. You can cut 2 fabrics out and join it together. Now to the sleeves, I'll be cutting both sleeves together. So I'll fold my fabric into 4 this way. The width of the sleeves, remember that the width that you cut out for your sleeve opening is 7 inches. So the width will be 7 inches and the length will be your sleeve length plus extra 2 inches. So I'm cutting out 2 fabrics that are 14 inches wide and 12 inches in length. Then I'm going to shape out this part this way. Once I'm done with the sleeves, now it's time to cut out the front part that will be used for the niqab. I'm going to fold my fabric. Then the width of the fabric I'll be cutting is 16 inches and the length will be 61 inches that I measured earlier plus extra 1 inch for the hemming of the neckline. Then you need to cut out 4 ropes that you will use for the niqab function and the front part. Next thing I'll do is I'll open up the fabric that I cut out for the niqab function. Then I'll fold it into 2 and on the upper part I'm going to measure 5 inches inwards from the folded edge. Then I'll trim it out this way. If you fold it into 2, you will have 8 inches. So the body of the fabric will be 8 inches, but the upper part that will be around the face will be 5 inches wide. So I'll trim it out this way. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to cut my hijab cap. So I'll fold my fabric into 4 this way. The hijab cap height I'll be using is 4.5 inches. Then from the folded edge I'll measure 6 inches inwards this way, and on the 6-inch mark I'll come up by 3 inches. Then I'm going to cut it out this way. Once I'm done with that, the length of the hijab cap is 21 inches. So I'll notch the midpoint of my hijab cap and the 3-inch mark that I marked on the 6-inch mark, I'm going to notch that part too. Now to the sewing aspect, I'm going to lay my main hijab body with the right side facing up. I'm just showing you where the notch point is. So the extra fabric that I cut out for my scarf, I joined the 2 parts together. Then I folded it into 2 with the wrong sides facing each other so that the right side will be outside. Then I'm going to place it in such a way that it will be on the right side of my main hijab body. So the midpoint of the scarf that I folded will be placed on the notch point of the main hijab body, and then I'll be sewing it as shown in the video. Then I'm going to align it on one side from that notch point down to one side, and I'll be sewing it round from one side to the notch point down to the other side of my main hijab body. To join the rope that will be used to tie the hijab in front, all you have to do is turn 2 ropes inside out. Then you are going to measure 15 inches from the notch point that you made to indicate the midpoint of your face opening on the main hijab body. You are going to measure 15 inches downwards on one side. Then you'll be placing the rope on the scarf material. You are going to place it as shown in the video. Then you top stitch on it, and you repeat the same thing for the other side too. You measure 15 inches from the notch point to the other side also. Then you are going to top stitch your rope on that point. I used a pattern fabric for the scarf so that you'll be able to understand how to join the extra fabric that I cut out for the niqab function on the main hijab body properly, so that you'll be able to understand it better. So after hemming it, you're going to pick that part that you hemmed with the right side. It is going to face the right side of the scarf that I just joined, and to know where to join it, you're going to join it on the part on that 8-inch mark that you mark from the notch point. You know, when you were cutting it, you marked 8 inches from the folded edge of your fabric. You marked 8 inches downward where you slanted it down to the 10-inch mark on the lower part of your main hijab body. So that 8-inch part is where you will be joining the ends of this extra flap too. So you are going to start with one side. You join the tip of the hemmed part to that 8-inch mark. Then to join the other side to the other side of the main hijab body, you are going to pull it this way. So it's going to form like an enclosure, and you make sure that you have right sides facing each other. So your face opening is going to look like this when you join it together. So after doing that, the next thing is to work on your hijab cap. You are going to fold your hijab cap into two with the right sides facing each other. Then you are going to start joining from the notch that you made on the 3-inch mark on one side. You are going to sew it down and close the ends. Then you repeat the same thing for the other side too. And then you are going to trim off your excesses and turn it inside out. After turning it inside out, the next thing is to fix the hijab cap to your main hijab body. So you'll be picking the notch point that you made on the midpoint of your hijab cap, and you'll be placing it on the notch point that indicates the midpoint of your main hijab body. You align the part that you didn't sew on your hijab cap to one side. Then you are going to sew your hijab cap on your main hijab body as illustrated in the video this way. Sew it down, and this is what you have. You're going to sew it on your scarf. Now to the back part of my main hijab body, to join the 2 extra fabrics that I cut out earlier, I'm going to place the 2 extra fabrics together with the right sides facing each other, and I'm going to join it. After joining it, I'm going to place the part where I joined it, which indicates the midpoint. I'll be placing it on the notch point that I have, which indicates the midpoint of the back part of the hijab. I'm going to place it on it with the right sides facing each other. Then I'll align one side together. Then I'll be sewing it down, and the back part of my hijab is ready also. Now to the sleeves, I'm going to hem the ends of my sleeve, both sleeves this way. After hemming it, I'll measure 2 inches from the hemmed part, and I'm going to use my elastic thread to smoke it. So I'll run 4 straight stitches so that it will be firm on each sleeve. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to fold my sleeves into 2 with the right sides facing each other. Then I'll join it together this way. I repeat the same thing for the second sleeves too. Now to sew it to the main body of the hijab, I'm going to open up my main hijab body. Then the higher part of the sleeves, which has the notch point, is going to be on the upper part of the armhole of the sleeve opening that I made on the hijab. The upper part that is closer to your hijab cap, that is where you have the upper part of your sleeves. You are going to place it with the right sides facing each other. Then the part where you joined the sleeves together is meant for the lower part of your sleeves opening. So to place that with the right side facing each other, you are going to insert it into your sleeves opening by turning your main hijab body inside out. So it is going to look like this. So the sleeves is going to be inside the main hijab body. Then you are going to sew it down. So once you turn it inside out, this is what you have, and you're going to repeat the same thing for the second sleeves too. you place the notch point on the higher part of the sleeves, on the higher part of the sleeve opening that you made on your main hijab body. You're going to place it with the right side facing each other. Then the part where you joined the sleeves together is meant for the lower part of the sleeves opening, so you're going to turn your hijab on it inside out so that the sleeves will be inside your main hijab body, and you're going to sew it down. Now for the ropes that you need to tie your niqab function, you are going to also turn the ropes inside out. Then you will be sewing it on the part where you joined the hemmed part of that extra niqab fabric. That end on the face opening, that is where you will be joining the rope. You'll be sewing the rope to each end this way. You sew it down and your beautiful Saudi hijab is ready. This is what the final outcome is going to look like. With this, we have come to the end of the tutorial. If you found this tutorial video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, suggestions or tips you would like to share, kindly drop them in the comment section below. Have a great day. Ma salam.